Seniors, from our programs in psychology and neuroscience, here you are at the end of your undergraduate journey at La Sierra University. It's amazing the ways in which you have risen to the occasion of the last few months, how you have persevered and achieved. Because this is it. Graduation is before you. So you have not only my deepest congratulations, but my admiration as well. I'm so looking forward to finding out what you do with your lives. I know that you will care with much compassion for those whom you serve. I know that you will make discoveries that will change our lives for the better, for decades to come. Make sure that you bask in this moment. It is yours. You have earned it. And so once again, my deepest congratulations.
Hello, seniors. I'm just betting that this is a time you've been looking forward to for 4 years. I am so grateful to your chair, Dr. Paul Mallory, for giving me the opportunity to say congratulations to you on behalf of the Provost's office. I don't want to miss this moment to stop with you and your classmates and faculty members and say how proud we are of you. This is a moment that we wish we could have celebrated differently. But for now, I want you to know that I am proud that you have persevered, that you've worked hard, that you've been tested, that you've produced, and now that you're ready to meet challenges that lie before you. In all the hurry that surrounds finishing a degree, with all the details you have to manage, with all the complexity that surrounds us during a pandemic, don't forget to celebrate yourself. Most of you will leave campus. We hope to see you at celebrations, at alumni events, at special occasions, but what we know is it's not going to be the same. We are going to miss you. I hope you leave knowing that La Sierra loves you. I hope you take what you've learned with you for your life and for your profession, and I hope you take your faith with you too. Stay in touch with us. Let your faculty know what you're doing. They're going to miss you. Congratulations on this milestone event. You have accomplished what most people in the world have not. Continue to challenge yourselves with new goals. Have fun, and don't forget the confetti. Woo!
This is Dean April Summit, and on behalf of the College of Arts and Sciences, I want to say congratulations to the Psychology and Neuroscience 2020 seniors. I'm so delighted to wish you well as you prepare to head out to change your world. Working with each of you while here at La Sierra University has been an honor. Your hard work and dedication, your creativity and spirit of service, and your vision for a better world is nothing short of inspiring. In so many ways, you have changed our world. No matter how far your plans eventually take you from this place, remember, you will always be part of this family. I wish you all of God's blessings, and again, congratulations.
Taylor, I've appreciated your clarity of thought and your ability to communicate your thoughts so well.
I've seen you around as a visible leader in the department.
So just to say a few of my favorite things, or some of my favorite memories at La Sierra, definitely struggling through methods. Even though that was a really hard class for me specifically, I had fun with the other friends that I was with, and just trying to understand it. Late nights, the long nights, I guess that's the same thing. The jokes that we had, it was so much fun. And honestly, some of my classes that I had, I think interviewing and counseling was definitely my favorite class. Getting to practice random situations and how you would deal with them. I think that was one of my favorite classes. I really enjoyed the barbecues that we had as a department. Those were some of my favorite things. And the colloquiums were also great.
Taylor, it was so great to have you as a TA for interviewing and counseling this year. You thought of stuff before I even got to it. You and I are kind of in sync. I really appreciated the talks that we were able to have this year too about your plans and about child life, and I'm so excited for you. I think this is going to be a great career for you, and I'm excited to see how it goes.
Next year, I am going to be at Loma Linda in their child life program. And just a shout out to Dr. McCoy. She's the one that randomly in our psych of gender class just happened to mention it. And I was like, wow, this is exactly what I want to do, because before that I didn't exactly know.
You are preparing for your next adventure as a child life specialty graduate student. So I can't wait to hear about what this journey is going to be like for you. I know that Sci-Chi will love to have you back in the future as an alum to talk about your professional life. So you'll hear from us.
I also really like your sense of humor, and I will confess that every time I was making the soup, I always had you in the back of my mind because you always had a comment on the soup. So I will miss you.
Congratulations, Taylor.
I have so many favorite memories from the psychology department that will always stick with me. Some of my favorites being our neighborhood barbecues, as well as any time a group of us students would get together in AH 110 and just study or just talk or cram for tests.
You've been meticulous, punctual, and conscientious TA.
Just generally speaking, your leadership in the department has been really wonderful. Thank you.
Very important asset and leader and helper for our research and also other research students. Even made a protocol and guide for other students. And all the work you did, the great ideas, and then many hours of data collections, analysis, and everything, and it's been really appreciated. And I really enjoy going to the OPA conference with you. It was really a fun time. And also, you're the author of 4 papers. And that's exceptional as an undergrad student.
So after I graduate, I will be attending Loma Linda University School of Medicine.
These are some of the reasons that the faculty nominated you for the Alumni Outstanding Senior Award. Congratulations on receiving that.
So I have a lot of other things I could say about Taryn, but I think to summarize it, I'm going to quote a famous poet that said, "Never going to give you up, never going to let you down, never going to run around and desert you."
Congratulations, Taryn. I always remember you as being very attentive and very involved in my classes. The answers you had for my questions were very carefully made and very accurately made. And your comments and your ideas in the discussion actually led me and also other students for further discussion ideas.
Brianna, I got to know you fairly late in your college career, and I wish we'd had more time together. I really appreciated all of your insights and your ideas in neurological disease and disorder, though. Thank you.
You've probably heard it said that still waters run deep. And I think that's probably true of you. You're one of the more quiet members of this class, but at the same time, you're very thoughtful and you think clearly and critically, and you interact so well with your peers in a supportive way. It's really enhanced the department environment.
Congratulations, Brianna.
I just want to say that I so appreciated having you in Psych of Gender, your interest in the subject matter, and you were always up for a lively debate. Those characteristics really made the class dynamic really enjoyable, I think, for all of us in the class.
I especially appreciate your help for initial setup of the memory conformity study with virtual reality. Without you, it probably would not be happened.
You've been such a force in the department. I'm glad I finally got to know you this year. I love your humor and honesty and the way you have engaged with all the faculty.
Rudy, I'm going to miss you. I've really enjoyed the times that we've had to talk together individually, and I hope you know that you're important to us and valued. You've had a huge impact on both me and also on your friends and the people around you.
The thing that stands out to me about you the most is the way you are so supportive of and compassionate toward your peers. You are a genuine friend, and I've seen evidence of that on multiple occasions. You also are really fun. You've got diverse interests. I know we've talked about, doing a magic and psychology colloquium, and even though that ended up not happening, it was a lot of fun to talk about it.
It's such a pleasure to be around, and also you are the entertainer. I want to see your magic trick again.
The only student that ever had to make a magic trick in my lab. And also, he is the one who literally made me cry laughing in the lab, in my lab this time, not just the neuroscience lab, but in my research lab, just because of the jokes that he always made. And I have to say that the way he imitates accent is just hilarious.
I can't.
Congratulations, Rudy.
Congratulations. What an accomplishment. You have been so persistent in your academic endeavors, and I'm proud of you.
Myrna, I have this really vivid memory of our last conversation. It was right before school closed and it was raining, and we were standing just inside the double glass doors to the classroom. I had this huge sense of wanting to keep you just a little bit longer and talk to you just a little bit more, and wanting to know that you were going to be okay, because I knew I wasn't going to see you for a really long time. I want you to know that you're special and valued and important to me, and I care about your life.
Miana is not only one of the few students that I let run EEGs in my lab by herself, but she is also the only student ever in my lab who I trust enough to let her train other students to run EEG.
When I think about how much work you probably have to have, and then how many sleepless nights you probably have had with 2 children, I'm very amazed. Having 2 children of yourself is a full-time job, but you not only finished all the requirements for classes and everything, but also you were actively involved in research and other scholarly activity on campus. So that's amazing.
Your persistence, hard work, and intelligence have let you succeed.
Congratulations, Myrna.
Some memories at my time at La Sierra Psychology Department would probably be the classes. There was so many different classes that I could pick that I was able to take, like learning and behavior, interviewing and counseling, prejudice, eyewitness memory, intro to psychotherapy, and many others. And I feel like there was like a lot of things that I had no idea about, like especially with like interviewing and counseling. Like some people going into this field might think, oh, like I want to be a therapist, but like actually get like a real, like I get to experience what it's like to actually interview and how you need to speak to your patients and like how to go about questioning. It's not just how are you feeling today.
I had such a great time working with you on your Methods and Stats project this year.
And I really appreciate your input, ideas, and discussion and questions. All were very great. But I'm especially impressed with your ideas and analysis for the no context service learning.
You have been a great student to work with. Something that I think is really rewarding for instructors is when they give feedback and then they can see evidence that feedback has been taken in and it's enhanced the learning. And your work always shows evidence that you have paid attention to what's been said and that you've really incorporated that and integrated that. So that's made it really rewarding for me to teach you.
Alina, it's been really amazing watching you, not only as a student, but also as a big sister. I'm so impressed by your care and concern for your little sister, and I know that your kindness and compassion are going to serve you well no matter where you go.
I am currently just got a job as a behavioral interventionist at a place where I work with individuals with autism. So I'm currently doing that, and once I graduate, I'm hoping to get more hours, work more, and possibly look at becoming an ABA, or going into ABA, I'm sorry, because a lot of people actually from my job say I should look into it.
Congratulations, Alina.
So Rajesh is really the classiest student I've ever seen. Each time I see him at university, I think I need to step up my game and dress better. So I think that's something really remarkable about him I wanted to mention.
My impression was that you look very professional. And later I found out that you had a lot of like leadership positions around, so I was very impressed.
I left an exam telling my friends that I enjoyed it. It was Neurological Diseases and Disorders with Dr. Mallory, and her exam was essentially, here's a paragraph of theoretical patient's symptoms and tendencies and behaviors, and you had to provide the diagnosis and the treatment. And I thought that was just, I don't know, that stood out a lot to me as a very unique type of exam, and I ended up enjoying both the class but the exam. And then the entire methods and statistics sequence, I won't forget it. I think after you go through it, it's something you don't forget. I'm convinced it's the hardest class at La Sierra University, and we're the ones that get to enjoy going through it.
But you had many other works as administrator and then leaders on campus and in other places in the nation.
After graduation, I'm going to finish my teaching credentials, and ideally and hopefully a school in the Southern California region will hire me and pay for the rest of that, either as a high school science teacher or an elementary teacher.
You've fought hard to earn this degree, and we're really proud of all that you've accomplished. Thank you for letting me walk alongside you through this journey. It's really exciting to see your persistence in accomplishing a huge milestone.
I am so happy to see you come to this point in your academic career. We've had a lot of conversations about school and academics and about life. And I'm excited to see where life takes you next.
Congratulations, Raj. Regina, I have to confess that I'm feeling a little bit selfish about being glad to have you around for another quarter. I'm sorry. You've made a huge contribution to the department, and I really liked hearing your point of view in neurological disease and disorder and getting to know you better last quarter. I'm looking forward to one more quarter with you before you're done.
You're very quiet. You rarely talked in class. However, your ideas and thoughts and the delivery of them and the exam answers and papers were just so amazing.
Some of my favorite memories from the psychology department at La Sierra are the conversations I've been able to have with professors and classmates, whether in the classroom or during Psych-Chi or while doing research, where I've been able to talk about psychology in general or research or just advice for the future.
You have a quiet demeanor, but you have a great sense of humor under that quietness. You also have a fantastic attention to detail, which has made you amazing as a methods and stats TA. I have really appreciated you there so much. So I wish we could keep you longer, but I'm really happy to see you go on and accomplish other great things.
Having you as a TA for methods has been great. Your precision makes our job so much easier.
After I graduate, I plan to go to medical school to become a pediatric neurologist.
Congratulations, Regina.
You also have been an amazing TA for methods and stats. Your comments were always very thoughtful, and you made things a lot easier.
I love how in our method staff meetings you always are willing to do any work, but always offer that someone else can do it if they want to.
And also, I really appreciate your work and leadership as a Psych-Chi president and also TA for the department.
Congratulations, Marcia. I am so thankful for your work in Psych-Chi as two-time president. You have led our chapter so well, organized, and I thank you for that contribution to the chapter.
You have been such a great leader in the department in a lot of ways, but maybe especially with Psych-Chi, we, as far as I can remember, have never had so many activities and things going on and such creative activities. I've never gone to as many activities as I have since you've been president of Psych-Chi.
I have a lot of memories that will stick with me after graduating, but the very first memory I have of the department is from orientation, and I came in as a biochemistry major, and I remember during orientation there were a bunch of booths with each department, and I was super set on biochem. But then I heard this French accent, and I was super intrigued, so I turned, and that's when I saw Dr. Ladontek. And I went up to him to talk to him more, just so I could hear him speak, but he started talking to me about the department, and here I am now.
I had a lot of fun with two events, particularly. I can remember the one where we played games all together. That was really fun. And more recently, the one when she did the painting session. That was really fun too. So thanks again, Marsha, and I appreciate that.
I love the way you were able to share your own experiences and your personal story in senior seminar last year. I think it made a huge difference to your classmates, and it was really an honor to me to witness your love for your family.
These are some of the reasons that the faculty chose you for Outstanding Neuroscience Senior of the Year.
After graduation, I am going to begin medical school at Loma Linda University this upcoming school year.
Salamat Marsha, saya sangat bangga padamu.
Congratulations, Marsha.
I'm so happy for you. Congratulations on this well-deserved success.
Very appreciative. Your motivation, perseverance, and I believe your family and then friends are really and proud of you, and I'm really glad you came back.
Noelia, you're amazing. I've been so impressed with your choice to come back to school. I know it must have been really hard to just decide to come back and commit to finishing up. You did it, and we're proud of you.
It's been so great to have you back in the department briefly to finish up. I didn't end up having a class with you in fall or winter, but it was nice to see you around and to be able to say hi and to spend a little bit of time catching up.
I'm so glad that you came back to finish after taking a few years off. In Psych of Religion, I appreciated how you could both bring your perspective to the discussion while also seriously engaging with the text we were reading.
Some of the memories that I have from working in the psychology department is just the different opportunities we had working as groups in classes. Also the times that I was able to have discussions with other students during breaks, and just to really get people's perspective that possibly was very different than mine, and having dialogue and discussion that was very enlightening to me. I am looking into the health education and wellness coach at Loma Linda University's graduate program.
Congratulations,
Noelia. Did really well in my classes and other classes. So it was not just about the class, but you have been involved in research and in other scholarly activity on campus while you're playing sports.
Kirsty, the main mental picture that I'm going to carry with me is of you relaxing in your backyard while talking about meaning and interesting issues during senior seminar. That picture of this casual and insightful, both at the same time, just exactly fits my image of you.
I don't even know where to begin. I am so happy I've gotten to know you over the last couple of years. Thank you for choosing my lab to join, and for just being so involved in all the research projects that we've been in, your contributions to Psych-Hi. I know that this is not goodbye because we still have a project to work on, and I look forward to a really long friendship.
I do know one thing for sure, those barbecues always came on a day where I would forget my lunch and was running late and didn't have breakfast that morning. So that was always awesome. Like after class, walking out into the courtyard and being like, burger and chips. So that was awesome. And then I think collectively, like every memory that I had at the bread station was so good. Like I don't care who I was with or how many times I'd made a trip there. Just breaking bread.
You are a hard worker as an athlete and as a scholar. And you're so incredibly competent. That has really made my life in methods and stats easier because you've been a fantastic TA.
These are some of the reasons that we chose you for Outstanding Psychology Senior of the Year.
What am I doing next after graduation? I don't know. I mean, times are so crazy right now, and I still have loans to pay off, so I think I'm just going to take a gap year or two and do my research about what grad program I want to, continue my education in. At the same time, saving money and trying not to be in student debt by the time I'm 40.
Congratulations, Kirsty.
The first day I met her, she was just transferring to our university, and as soon as she knew I was doing research on EEG, she started talking to me, and I think we talked for like an hour. And I had the impression that in that time she knew more about my research than most of my students in the entire time they spent at the universities.
Your help for our research was wonderful. For data collection, data analysis, especially your comments and ideas during the research meeting, lab meeting, were very valuable. That really direct and redirect of our current research, and also that help us to clarify some of the issues of the methods in our current research.
You have been such a great person to have in the department. You've had, I think, some of the most interesting research ideas, and you've worked on those during your time with us. And I think that's brought a richness to the department that I've really appreciated.
And my only regret, I would say, is that definitely I wish she arrived earlier so we could have done even more together.
Congratulations, Kate. Congratulations,
2020
Psychology
and Neuroscience
seniors.
You have worked hard.
We know.
We've assigned you a lot of work.
And we wish we could be there
to give you handshakes
and hugs.
We're proud of you.
And we know that you will make the world
a better place.
Just as you have made our department a better place.
You're all done.
Congratulations.
It's stressful. It's very sudden. I didn't expect it to be as stressful. I thought it was going to be a little easier because just for me, I was a commuter, so it was a lot of me driving everywhere, driving back and forth. And right now, it's just being at home doing classes. Some of the work is different than usual. I'm not used to writing as many papers, but because obviously we're here staying at home, that's really all we can do. And just like a lot of writing, and I think it's such a dramatic change that's been kind of stressful.
I do have to give credit to the seniors in high school though, because I remember when I was in high school, I was so excited to do all of those events and those senior nights with my friends who I'd grown up with mostly. I mean, the Valley's a really small place. So my hearts go out to them because that's something that's so important to them, especially at 18 before they go off into their, respective places in the world and go do great things. And just the fact that they don't get that big celebration kind of breaks my heart. And it kind of takes away from whatever I'm feeling right now and whatever college graduates are going through. I will say I've heard a lot of graduation speeches, and something that's really empowering in such an uncertain time is that we're the class that hasn't been in the workforce. We haven't been there yet, and we're not still going to be, in school next year for the most part. We're not going to be in our undergrad. So we're kind of the perfect people to come at this new situation with a clear mind, clear head, super creative ideas, and just come out of it and see the light,
I don't feel like a senior, which is good because I don't like feeling old, but bad because I'm not having the experience that I thought I would have or that I wanted to have. But it's definitely opened up my eyes more and helped me learn to not take things like going to school physically for granted.
Definitely the world changed, and just doing things differently, being more remote, doing everything online was very different. I feel like I've been able to overcome that and be able to learn and be flexible and learn in different ways.
It was the change of pace actually helped me a lot in terms of getting ahead of things and homework and tests, being on top of everything. When I got bored, it's not like I could go out and do anything, so I stayed in my room, stayed at my desk, and just did more homework because there's nothing else to do. So it's different, unique, but it turned out to actually be a blessing in disguise.
Being a senior during the pandemic has been difficult because I've had to change where I live and change the way that I study, and it's been hard not having professors and classmates around while we're going through school.
It's a little bit weird that we don't get the events that we anticipate at the beginning of the school year, and it's a little disappointing that I didn't get to say goodbye to my friends as well as the professors that I've gotten to know over the years. But some good things have come out of it. Like, I've never been able to spend this much time with my family. But even then, I think my problems as a graduating senior are quite minimal compared to what other people are going through right now. So I'm not too bummed.
In any of your classes, especially methods, don't be afraid to ask the teachers if you don't understand. Like, that was something that was really hard for me, but it makes it easier later it gives you the confidence to know that the teachers are here for you and they're not going to talk down to you. Like, they want you to understand as much as you want to understand. So if you have questions, like, go to your TAs, go to your teachers, go to other teachers who may know stuff too. Like, just talk to somebody and get your questions out in the open.
Stick it out. Personally, general psych was not dreadfully interesting to me. It kind of scratched the surface on a lot of topics in psychology and neuroscience, but once you get into the deeper courses, developmental psych, abnormal psych, learning and behavior, counseling, interview and counseling, intro to EEG, I think once you start getting into those, it gets really deep, it gets really interesting, and it really hooks you in. And as well, if you have figured out what you want to do after graduation, whether it's to stay in the field or not, start to apply what you're learning in those classes to that future career you're going to go into. Myself, I'm going to be a teacher, high school sciences or elementary, and once I've discovered that, every class that I take, I think, how is this information, how is this concept going to apply to the classroom? Or how am I going to use this in my classroom to make me a better teacher for my high school students or for my elementary students? So doing things like that.
Go to events. If it weren't for the department, I probably wouldn't be at La Sierra. When I first started going to school here, I felt like I wasn't really anchored to the department. I didn't have much friends in the department, and I found myself like at the bio department all the time for some reason. So I would go to events, join Psych-Chi, be an officer, and it'll definitely help you find a home in the department and make the lifelong relationships that college should be giving you.
So I'll give you guys the same advice that my mom has always given me. And that's if you can look at the major you want to go into and eventually what job that entails, and you can zoom out and look at it objectively and say, I love this job because I go into work every day so excited. I'm eager to go. I'm eager to do new things. I'm helping the people that I want to help. And I feel good about what I'm doing. Then I think you guys are headed in the right direction. And definitely in this day and age, 2020, everything that we've seen go on, so many people that need help, that need solidarity. We just need humane, good people in the world. However you think you fit in, and that just depends on what you're good at, right? So whatever you're good at, whatever your skills are, knowing what your weaknesses are helps too. but mainly knowing what you're good at and knowing how you can contribute and help with that change. I think that's what you want to strive for.
Take as many classes as you can. There are a lot of classes offered in different levels. Some of them aren't offered every year, so make sure you look into that and kind of get an idea. Talk to your faculty supervisor. Also, I would suggest going into methods and stats early and make sure to try to do it your sophomore year.
You don't necessarily have to be set in one major when you start. You can always change your mind and see what fits best for you and what you like the best.
For all of you incoming freshmen, I have 3 points I want to tell you. So 1, don't let your fears deter you from trying new things. One of the reasons why I joined neuroscience was because I was under the impression that you don't really need to write for it, which could not be further from the truth. There's so much writing required, but I couldn't imagine being any other major. So although I still do not like writing, I have improved, and sticking with this major has opened up so many opportunities and new interests for me. And then number 2, start working on your 4-year plan now. The psychology department offers a variety of classes that some of which are only offered every other year. So if you see something that you really like, so for me it was health psychology and psychopathy, then make sure you're really checking in on your schedule and seeing if you need to change anything around so that you can fit those in. And then last but not least, talk to upperclassmen and faculty. I regret not doing this earlier during my college career, and that was just because I was super intimidated, but I can guarantee you that they're some of the friendliest people on campus and that they're all super interesting.
You have to have a big heart because you're gonna, I feel like, meet people from all walks of life, and there's gonna be challenges, there's gonna be different circumstances, but at the end of the day, the perspective, I feel, of psychology is to help better the world that we're living in. So I hope that more and more students choose the route of psychology because it's so wide, it's so ample, and it helps people in so many different walks of life.
But also what makes the psychology department so great is you faculty. So I want to give an individual shout out to each of you with just a silly thing that I'll remember in chronological order in regards to when I took my first class with you. So starting with Dr. Martin, you're my first ever psychology professor and you left a great impression on me. I will never forget your amazing vegan soups as well as your generosity for feeding us hungry students by leaving out your toaster station. Dr. Ladantek, I will never forget you and your bright red shoes, as well as the many occasions that you found me asleep in the psychology department and that one time you brought me a blanket. Dr. Evans, for some reason, my most embarrassing memories during college always involved you. Not that you caused them, but you just always happened to witness them. But besides that extreme, I think I've gained the most pearls of wisdom from you as a professor. One of them being, in life, take the long cut. It can lead to great opportunities and unorthodox thinking. Explore bad ideas. They oftentimes deviate from orthodox thinking, but they might just be good ideas waiting for the right moment. The Mallorys, thank you for Aiden, my Minecraft buddy. But besides that, Dr. Paul Mallory, you're one of the most organized people I've ever met, and I don't think anyone's surpassing that anytime soon. And Dr. Suzanne Mallory, we discussed some pretty controversial topics in your class, and you managed to keep it very civil, which I feel like very few people could pull off like you did. So thank you to you both. Dr. Kim, I'll never forget the certain topics that get you super excited and deviate from your kind of calm tone in class. And I thank you so much for your patience with me as your research assistant, just because I feel like if I had worked for the biology department, they would have booted me out a long time ago. So thank you. Dr. McCoy, I feel like you also had a very calm personality that set the organized tone for Psych-Hi, and that was a nice contrast compared to my club where we all kind of jokingly yell at each other. Dr. Schmidt, I never took a class from you, but I did TA for you, and that was such a pleasure, and I'll never forget our hour-plus long conversations that we would have just about life. And then, of course, I have to give a shout out to Diana and Pam for opening the research room for me many times, etc., and for working behind the scenes to keep this department running.